Hello. Hello, how are things? This might be a short stream. This might be a short stream. Whoops. I just accidentally... Didn't even realize we had mouse 5 bound to something, which I'd just done accidentally hit. Oh yeah. So I guess what we want to do is get rid of the little... I forgot where we left this off. So it's pretty good. I think I want to think about interpolating away the little shoop-de-whoop in there, right? And I'm not sure why that happens, come to think of it. Anyway, so again, as usual, we can work on it just for this transition from here to here. And then we can just copy that over to this transition, right? All right, so if I slow this down a little. Okay, it pops immediately, which is weird. So there's not actually a shoop-de-whoop in this part that I could see, although there's more of like a linear... It's like the zoom out converges before, I don't know. So there's two problems with this one. Problem number one is like, why doesn't it match on the very first frame? Like, what's that about? What is that about? You know what? Let's go into this for a bit. What is it? Okay, so, oh, that's the wrong one. Toggle zoom. Okay, so here we're just going to no check in this, and we're just going to have this toggle back and forthsies so I can test it real fast. So the fact that it's going in first means that something is wrong. Oh, you know what? I'm not taking into account... Okay, so I do this thing in the beginning where I say, hey, the look at for the starting position is like the room center. That's not actually correct. That's not correct. And so that would be one reason to be off. It may not be the only one, but it might explain some things. So the deal is the camera entity says wait, is that on settings now? Well, it has this up distance, south distance, look at south distance. Let's actually load the cameras we care about. Oh, lister. Okay. Look at south distance 0.5. So this at least means that the place that we are looking at is there. And also these let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's go back to this. Okay, so here, so this doesn't use look at ID at all. I don't think. Yeah, this position ID and look at ID are crap, I think. Let's see when they were added. Yeah, those are like version 1 of the camera. This is back when I had no idea what I was doing. Okay. So this is going to go away later. Neither of these is going to happen. I don't think. Ugh. Wait. This is frickin' wrong anyway. Okay, hold on. We must alter this afterward. Oh, wait. Lol. Actually, Yeah, I don't know. Well, let me go back to that note and say scan all levels to verify we aren't using these. Okay. Now, my laptop fan is really going. So, interpolate camera for zoom per screen. So I was confused too because that function I was looking at a minute ago was for the other camera type, which is not the kind that we're editing. We're editing the per screen camera. Anyway, so what we do is we say get overhead map camera control. We call these. And then we interpolate toward those. Oh, I think I broke this. I broke this in the new code. So this whole thing This is very old. This check for sons.count. I'm just going to put that over there. Because we shouldn't be doing things that way anymore. See, this is one of these questions about how much old code that's a little bit messy do I tolerate for a while? And I think the answer is, I think I do tolerate it a little bit. Because like this is tied to another cleanup somewhere else, and this is just a big change that I'm making with this camera thing, so I just want to get it in there. So So starting look at, see, this is wrong. This is wrong. It's this. I need to even get the control. I'm hungry. Okay. Coding guarantees citizenship. I don't exactly think it does, though, because, like, not all coding guarantees citizenship, all right? Let's get that straight right now. Oh, boy. Okay, so now... Now it's just like, okay, we're way off on the beginning for some reason. Oh, yeah, and you know what? This is for camera position. You know what? So screw that. Let's go back to this. Will this be open sourced? Someday. Someday most of it will be. Not all of it. Hey, look, it's like basically what we started with. It's exactly what we started with. I mean, I do think we're slightly better. But the thing is, the error that we had was being interpolated out over time. It wasn't like at the beginning or the end like that, right? So the question remains, so the way, it's probably just the way that we're computing these cameras. We are interpolating toward Oh, you know, down here where we do the final look at is different from this. This shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So now, here's the thing. What's probably going on is that, you know, this thing doesn't, well, what's definitely going on, because we see it happen, is this thing does not match our input camera. It's just you can't tell because when these are not set, we don't do this interpolation. And I think I did that to work around this problem before, actually. The settling down slightly is, I think, is an optical illusion. Because what's happening is we're moving the camera outward and we're narrowing the field of view. So once we sort of aren't going to go outward, like at some point, maybe the narrowing of the field of view is happening faster than the shrinking of what you see due to moving further away. And that's when it looks like we're coming closer again, right? But it's actually, we're zooming in. But yeah, I'm more concerned with this part. I think it's just these south distance and look at distances are not. And that's the thing is, okay, so really what should be happening? Let's say it's orthographic T. Wait, what? I thought we had a parameter for like how orthographic we are. What? Did I delete that somehow? Oh, there we go. Orthographic T. It's right there. It's right there. Okay. So we want to interpolate these down to 0. Okay, it's a good day when you're removing variables you added years ago. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that whole map stuff. Okay, and then viewpoint plus south and up. Settling down looks kind of cool. Yeah, but we don't want it there. We don't want it there. We don't want it there. All right. Well, we've got a huge shoop-de-whoop now. Okay, we still have like an offset, but it seems much smaller. Actually, no, it's exactly the same fucking size. Actually, now it might be completely smooth. Like, we have a low frame rate, right? But it looks like it's interpolating from the correct starting point. It's just doing the little zoom in shoop-de-whoop that we don't want, right? But that looks to me... Looks to me like we got the position, though. Okay. Except... we're... What is viewpoint? Oh, wait, this is already... Wait, what? I'm smoking crack. Let's just do this part. Like, why... Okay, so we actually, I already had this variable. Oh wait, no I didn't. I was looking up here. Okay, we can just pass this. Okay, when we like we do this camera dot position, that seems skeevy. So we're gonna put a no check in. (2D to 3D manager control). Camera center 2D. Okay. Gonna try this. It looks pretty smooth. Yeah, I'm still not sure what's going on there. Still doing it. But it's just fast. But it looks continuous. Here's how we do this. You want to see some fun times? We're going to do alternate frames. We're going to go we're going to do this. Down here, see I'm skipping this. We're going to say here okay. What this will cause us to do is, even if we're totally zoomed out, we will alternate frames. And one frame will show whatever we had without running this interpolation. Oh, it's only for the orientation too. That's maybe why it's so fucking confusing. Okay. And then on the other frame we will get, and so it should look perfectly exactly the same, but it probably won't because there's probably a bug. Wow. Wait, really? Let's print that out. Sometimes it's too good to believe. If instead of junk orientation, yeah, I don't know. Whoops. That's not a code. All right, let's see what happens there. Well, it's not flailing, which maybe means we're okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say if no check-in bamboozle, print yes, whatever, and new orientation. Else, actually, we could do this. And we just want to visually verify that both of those match, because otherwise maybe I'm just messing up all this logic and it just isn't running. Okay. Look at that. Value. That is value. Do you see the value? Okay, so that means that any shoop de whoop we have in there now maybe is due to nonlinearity in the interpolation of the zoom, but I maybe suspect there's something else insidious going on. It's weird to me. I don't know. Maybe it's not that weird. Anyway, let's just not reset the FOV ever, and we'll see if the shoop de whoop goes away or if it has some other source. That looks very smooth. I mean, frame rate aside, right? So, the angle now, we would actually like to interpolate not the angle, but like the stride of screen that is a situation. Okay, now there's Sag things happening, right? There's these distance ratios, which what the fuck is going on there? Let me just double check this. Get orthographically. Okay. That's literally like figuring this out. Okay, so clearly this was going to be wrong the whole time, actually. Even before we say linear or nonlinear. Because it's using only the overhead one. All right, so okay. Oh wait, except it should be the same. No. Wait, what? I see. I see. Okay, I get it. So this is a fixed Z height for everything, but the angle does depend on the original. So yeah, we actually need to see which of these we're doing. So we're doing the same thing. All right. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, lerp is a very typical standard function that you will encounter a lot in game programming, so it's useful to understand. Okay, that is a much bigger shoop-de-whoop. Congratulations, everybody. We have maximized the shoop-de-whoop, but that actually might be a good thing. You know, like when they're publishing all these articles, like maybe inflation is a good thing. And Americans will have to live like poor Europeans. It's like that. Except actually better, because now this is one thing with a point of symmetry in the middle, which is what you would expect for a nonlinear symmetric thing that's matched to a linear symmetric thing. So I think this is an improvement, and that now when we do the next part, maybe it'll work. Oh, maybe not. Oh, here. Right now we have this situation, and I want to put the lerp in here. And just do this, right? Because what we want to do, we want to interpolate linear screen distance. Tons of cash you want to invest, but the stock market is a bubble. Yeah, I don't know. I have no investment advice. My only investment advice is, if you can, create valuable things, right? Because if you have the ability to create valuable things, then even if you're broke, you can become unbroke, right? Whereas if I am not creating valuable things right now. Whereas, you know, if you're just it's just a strategy, and you know, in the past that was not very easy for a lot of people to do, but now that we have the internet and there's many more opportunities open to people because of this, or more, let's say more breadth of opportunities, it is more plausible. All right, so we still have exactly maximum shoop de whoop, which I don't claim to understand. I mean, unless we actually stop lerping the positions at some point, but oh, you know what? We're not using wait. Solve for the intersection of the view vector with the plane z equals k, right? That's what this t was for. Okay, but yeah. Editor. Okay, so we do lerp by local t, which is the same thing that should be changing here, right? So maybe I should display some of this information. Like maybe distance ratio local is accidentally changing over time. Let's just see. And do we use these extra distances? Not really. Okay. So if I ever get anxious when I program, I mean, dude, I've been programming for 40 years. What do you think? Four zero. Oh yeah, so the endpoint of our lerp is actually changing. So we're interpolating a linear with a linear, which is like a squared. Why am I doing that? Okay. Wait, really? Is this the inverse of what I was thinking? So the distance ratio is the old z. Right. Yeah, like I'm sort of... I'm sort of doing the concept twice. Let's do this. We're going to say ratio is initial pos.z divided by oh man, see, it's different. See, if I had both of these cameras being at the same height from the ground, then then we don't need the first interpolation. I think we could make the first interpolation work, but I'd rather not. Okay, so we're not going to return this. We're going to pass it in. Okay, so this get overview camera Z thing, this is very, very dubious. This is not good. Okay. So now this is probably getting multiplied by control zoom distance factor. Okay. We could theoretically interpolate that, but let's just oh, shoot. Never mind. God darn it. Okay, hang on. Slurp is a thing. Any chance that we can use this year for Advent of Code? I don't know. I mean, according to quantum mechanics, nothing is a zero probability. So for example, just you could have a Boltzmann brain that materializes in deep space that has had all of the same experiences as you. But it's not really you. It's just a brain floating in deep space. And so you could just have this compiler materialize on your computer. That could happen. If that happens, let me know if you get the version of the compiler that fixes this bug in this game that we're working on. Because like the compiler doesn't have to compile verbatim the program that it sees. It could just add some, you know, little security flaw or whatever, or just fix a bug. It could do any of these things. Easy Sag. Do I have a roadmap? Well, I think we want to start doing a very limited paid beta program soon. The main thing preventing me from doing that is just making some kind of simple actual legal agreement. Because, you know, when people pay for things, it's a little more serious. The goal is for a point in the camera's viewport to move linearly from point A to point B. Knowing that, you calculate where it should be at time t, then figure out where it will actually be based on camera motion only. Calculate the new FOV angle to ensure it actually appears. I mean, that's what we're doing, though. Like, that's not the problem. That is not the problem. The problem is just the inputs to these functions. As far as I mean, you know, who knows? There could be little bugs in the things. But the problem is, I put this together by stringing some stuff that kind of already existed and whatever. And it had all the little hack factors that were appropriate for the old thing, but cause confusion and so forth when you do new things. But yeah, so in principle, that's what we're doing, right? It's just to say that you don't have to think about it in a point-by-point way, because, like I said, you can think about it in a stride of the screen way. So instead of saying points have to move linearly, you can say like the width of the screen that you see at any one time has to change linearly, right? Which is sort of the same statement. It's just that that's closer to the core of what field of view talks about, and so once you conceptualize it that way, it's easy. Well, easy if you give it the right inputs, which we're not doing. So like I have all this confusing crap in here that I want to get rid of. I was going to delete this extra distance, but the problem is we actually kind of want that for the near far plane. So this distance ratio is supposed to tell us what to multiply the old FOV by to get the new FOV, and that actually works. Oh, you know, okay, let's do it this way. Instead of double lerping and all this stuff, which this lerp isn't even, the real double lerp is this one, which is the only one we're doing right now because we're not going all the way to the overhead view. It's that one and then that one. It's making a parabola, right? So what we really want to do is put this on the back end. So this part here, see, we really want to do this down after we've interpolated. Okay. Now, ratio is all this fucking shit. Oh my God, this is... Maybe I should refactor it over here. So the point is, we have a zoom distance factor on the camera control. We have a pos.z. Holy fuck. It's like we're re-getting things that we have out here, but like... I mean, I guess that's fine. It's like we're doing this several times, which is disgusting. We should be checking the flags on barriers so we don't have to... This really shouldn't depend on the entity down here. Anyway... There's so many no check-ins here, guys. Because this is redundant. Whoops. I don't know how to actually do it without this first lerp. Actually. Oh, you know what? Wait, I don't need the second lerp at all. Hang on. Have I just been confused? Like, what is my major malfunction? Why don't I just do that? Oh. Okay. Well, we still have a shoop de whoop in the middle. I'm still doing exactly the same lerp. See, what? Oh, well, I'm printing the same lerp. Lol. Wow, there's a lot of code I gotta clean out here. Okay, this print out is no longer even relevant because we're not doing that. I'm not really finding more bugs faster than I can fixing them. That's not what's happening. It's more like I'm partially trying different ways of solving the problem and realizing that isn't inappropriate or realizing that it doesn't work faster than I can solve the problem. So this is weird. Oh, you know what? Let me just do some bullshit here. Why is ratio calculated twice successively? Okay, so we're not using it right now. We're just testing the single zoom case, so there's only one lerp actually happening. But there's this local T and overhead T. Hold on, I want to know if this works. Hey, look. Guys, I just knew from the old days of computer graphics. The reason I just fixed this bug is because I wrote software rasterizers in 1996. That's how come I knew it was wrong. It's not actually, right, so it's not actually projected, like projected Z is nonlinear in screen space. 1 over Z is linear in screen space. And I just happen to know that. And I was like, maybe that's the conceptual problem. And it was. So GG's. So now we have a good linear transformation or linear interpolation, and you know we can theme this. We can put momentum or anything on it, or ease in, ease out once you have a linear. Anyway, so that thing that I was just doing right there is just this first lerp for local T. Overhead T is never changing right now. The reason why I'm doing both of these is because if you're transitioning halfway to local and then you hit tab again, I want us to start going continuously toward overhead without any discontinuity, right? And I don't want to have to wait till you get to local because that's a totally different transform. You might not be passing through the point where local is or or anything like that, right? And so this was the best way that I thought of. I'm not claiming it's the best way, but it was the best way that I thought of to ensure continuity regardless of how you're spamming the button, while also giving you good response time. Dude, don't make me yell "the game's not done" into the microphone. I don't even know what you're asking about, and I know that the answer is the game's not done. Okay, so we won't have to do the 1/overs if we flop our divide on the other side. Yeah, we might, you know, if I figure out a different way to achieve continuity, we might not be doing these lerps. But right now we're doing double lerp here, right? So this one's the easiest one to think about because it's just the 3D position of the camera, right? So we go toward a local position and then we go toward an overhead position, right? So normally, if you wait politely, we just go from pause local, or initial pause to pause local is 0 to 1, and then from pause local to pause overhead 0 to 1, and then pause overhead to initial pause, right, 1 to 0. That's like if you don't interrupt any of the interpolations. All right, let me get rid of that ratio. And let's put in the overhead thing, and then I can go to bed. You know what? No, I don't know. I was thinking, wait, why can't we just interpolate the angle? But I bet we can't. Okay, so we're just going to do this for now. This is fine. This is fine. And oh yeah, so one of these no check-ins. Let's get rid of bamboozle. And then the toggle here, we can put this back. So now we should be able to zoom all the way out to the overworld, and hopefully it also works. Copilot away. No, yeah. No. That's not how that goes. So answering the thing on the left, it looks like it's a shadow map situation. Okay, so here we can actually compile now at a faster frame rate. So that's to local, right? And then we're going to go local to overworld. Yeah. And overworld back down. So, you know, you could see us styling these a little better, but especially this one, this transition from here to here is like, it feels like it finishes going out while it's still going sideways, which is, I don't understand why that happens. But, you know, we can tweak these things. But see, I can just sort of, I can hammer on the key and it doesn't ever pop. I mean, not you can really tell at this frame rate. Okay, let's compile a faster one and wait a year for LLVM to do that. What was the problem? The problem was that I needed to interpolate 1 over z and not z. And that was just an arcane piece of graphics programmer knowledge. It's the original view, not changed to be centered on the player. Well, it has to be, for gameplay purposes, it's centered like on the room that you're in, like the world is made up of tiled rooms, and so the camera is on the room center. Human uptime. Human uptime, I don't actually know. I probably got up at, I don't know, 8 a.m. Something like that. So there it stalled because it was like loading in some meshes and stuff, but there we go. It's interesting, we turn off shadows for this view, and maybe we shouldn't. I don't actually know. So anyway, if I go over here, we get like this, right? I'd call that successful. For now, we'll see. We'll see if we use it. Anyway, if you do this, it doesn't pop. So it can interrupt at any time. That's great. Okay, so this is very good shape. You know, tomorrow I'll spend part of my workday just cleaning up the code, checking it in, and then maybe trying to get rid of some of those hack factors. Maybe drawing the title of the region on the screen. But mostly we're good. Have I done much iteration on the Rewind UX? No, I haven't. That is still just in heavily experimental phase. All right, everybody, I'm getting tired. This was a good stream. We basically got this done. I mean, the important part, it obviously works. And so the rest is details, right? I mean, if we even want to do this, if we don't, okay, even if we don't want to do the local region thing, I made the camera interpolation for just regular overworld map way better, because that was pretty janky before. So it's good. Good. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to sign off. I'm not going to do a raid because I'm just too tired. I'm going to bed. I'm going to go slop it up. No, tomorrow morning. Yes. Thanks, everybody.